What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Full Metal Analysis. We are back with another victory week, and we just faced the Colts. Uh, Marcus, how you feeling about that victory today, man? I mean, this past weekend.
It was a good game. It was they did what they had to do. Went out there, beat another team that's not in their caliber, not on their caliber, not on their level. But they went out there, they took care of business. Double digit victory. You pretty much called it. There's going to be a double digit victory. I thought it'd be a little bit more close. I thought their defense would be. I thought the Colts defense was a little bit better. They kept the passing game to they kept it in. I don't want to say they kept it in check, but it wasn't a lot of big yards put up against them. So that part did come to fruition, but they had little to no answer to Gibbs and the running game.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they still did pass a little bit. They didn't get any passing touchdowns. It's the first game I think in like 8 games that Amaran didn't get a touchdown, but Gibbs and like you said, Gibbs and David Montgomery still going strong. Man, it was pretty much went like I thought it was gonna go, like we all thought it was gonna go. It was pretty much over third quarter. Beginning of the third quarter, it was pretty much over. I think the Lions had control of the game the whole time. I never really was scared of losing that game during the game, even the times that the Colts were driving, never scared me, and it actually ended up being kind of like, damn man, like I can't wait till we get to the kneel downs. You know what I'm saying? It's like this game is done. When we gonna kneel it out? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it was an interesting game, man. A lot of injuries, man. I ain't like that. A lot of injuries going into the the Bears game this Thanksgiving. Um, I don't have too much to say about the Colts game, but the Bears game, I think Carlton Davis was injured. Khalif Raymond got injured. I think somebody else got injured too. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, Carlton Davis. He seems like I guess he's in the questionable designation. They said Khalif Raymond seems like it might be a longer term injury. David Montgomery got hurt, but they said that he said that he felt good enough to go back out there, but Dan Campbell told him that it wasn't worth it. And somebody else left.
Oh, Taylor Decker.
Oh, okay, yeah, Taylor Decker.
Yeah.
Not sure. I haven't heard anything about his designation. I believe that they said that he should be okay to go as well. I think he was trying to get back in the game also.
Yeah, man. Oh, before we leave the Colts game, man, I have got to give a shout out to the Allen Iverson celebration, man. I loved every moment of it. That might be the greatest celebration in NFL history.
Yeah, they was ready for that. St. Brown puts a lot of St. Brown puts 100% in everything that he does and everything he's a part of, and touchdown celebrations no different. The Allen Iverson, the Kamehameha the week before, the headstand. I saw a reel of him signing a big banner somebody had of Amon-Ra St. Brown in words, and then him standing on his head underneath. I thought that so. He always gonna give it 100%, whatever he do. I would say the biggest thing to come out of, for me, the biggest thing that I remember watching that game was that we had Pascal. I give Pascal a lot of grief. McNeil too. They didn't get home a whole lot, but they were definitely causing chaos on that defensive line, drawing holding calls, getting pressure on Richardson. We talked about, a week or two ago, we talked him up. Kendall Vildor back on the field. He was kind of picking up where he left off at. They were kind of picking on him. I know missed Alec Pierce on a big play. He just overthrew him and Vildor. They highlighted that play where Vildor kind of lost him in coverage, and then he didn't even try to catch up to him. My man was just wide open, and Richardson just overshot him. It was a good game to gauge how we look against a mobile running quarterback. And at the beginning of the game, they came out. The Colts did. They looked good. They were moving the ball, and then they stalled in the red zone, kicked the field goal, and then the Lions never looked back.
Yeah, man. I never have a problem with McNeil or Pascal. I've been hyping them up since the beginning. And man, that one play, McNeil bowled over my man and just pushed him over like he wasn't even there. That was crazy. But yeah, man, the coach got a lot of penalties, and they were definitely picking on Vildor, man. It was like that was the only weakness on the field this game. Um, I'm really mad that I didn't know that Ennis Rakestraw was on injury reserve, man. What is his injury?
I didn't know he was on injury reserve. I just saw he was out, but he just kind of. I feel like every other week you can every other week it's a safe bet that he's going to be on the injury report. So IR, I'm not even sure.
Yeah, man. But I know going into next week, Ben. I got concern. I mean, I ain't gonna say I got concerns. I fully expect. What I'm trying to say is, I fully expect us to beat the Bears, but it's tough, man. I know we got the next man up mentality, and everybody's like, we can do no wrong right now. But I feel like, what I'm saying, we like, I can beat you with both hands be tied behind my back. And that's how I feel like we are with our injuries right now, man. It's like, yeah, we still the better team, but I feel like we fighting with two hands tied behind our back with all these injuries.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up because I was thinking about that, and it's like, what would it take for me to feel like the Lions are gonna suffer from, insert this person getting hurt? And I'm wondering, is it the next man up? Is it Aaron Glenn? Is it the scheme? If is it Brian Branch? What is it? What would it take for us to see an injury where we're like, man, this defense just isn't the same? Because to your point, no matter what injury hits them, they just keep moving. They don't miss a beat. I was reserved. I was reserved on how I felt about how they would look without Anzalone. Jack Campbell's been doing great all year, so I wasn't that worried. But I just wanted to see it. I love Rodrigo. He's one of my favorite unsung heroes of the team, and Dan Campbell gave him a shout out after the game. I think he had 7 tackles, but that's all that guy does is tackle. He's always in position. He's not the most athletic player on the field, but he's just perfect for the team, man, because he's go out there, do your job, be where you're supposed to be. That's what Dan Campbell's been preaching since day one. That's what Malcolm Rodriguez does. So I don't know what it would take for them to, again, maybe it's Branch, but then you got Kirby, you got Iffy trying to make his way back onto the field. Maybe it's a testament to how deep this team is that you are able to have that next man up mentality and have some talent behind that. We've been missing Hutch. We've been missing Hutch for at least half the year now, and they've been rolling. So it would be great to have these guys back. But to answer your question, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is to why this team continues to roll, but barring catastrophic injury across the starters, I think they'll continue to be good.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I fully expect us to go out there and win. As long as you have the key points on the field, Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch, always gonna make plays. Kirby Joseph most likely is always gonna get you a turnover. Aleem McNeil and DJ Readers are holding up the run. Even Zadarius Smith is holding up that run game. Um, I think we'll be all right. I got a question though. If Carlton Davis can't go, who is that other corner? If Vildor is the corner that's replacing Terrion Arnold, who is the other corner on the other side? Is is Emmanuel Mosley playing this week?
Um, Rakestraw has a hamstring injury. That's what put him on IR. I believe that Terrion Arnold should be back this week. The way that I'm kind of hearing things, I forgot where I read or saw that made me believe that, but I'm believing that Terrion will be back. So you would have, and I believe Mosley got through that game uninjured. So I believe you will have Vildor, Arnold, Mosley. Are we missing a corner? But I
No,
think that's what you
no.
have available. Oh, and
So,
Robertson, Nick Robertson.
so yeah, so it would be if Arnold plays, then it would be Arnold, Mosley, and Amik Robertson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, okay, that gives me a little bit more confidence. I mean, barring that Emmanuel Mosley don't play two plays and get hurt, but yeah, man. What are your thoughts on this upcoming game?
So you got the Bears coming in. The Bears lost again Sunday
And
in a
the Bears
close
lost again.
in a close hard fought game. Uh, Story of Caleb Williams' rookie year. A couple highlight plays, but at the end of the day, they couldn't walk away with a win. He was able to get the ball to Keenan Allen, able to get the ball to DJ Moore, DeAndre Swift. But I mean, the Bears are the Bears, man. Coming into the year, people were trying to make a case that they were legit. I thought that their offense would be legit, but I always said that it all hindered on whether or not Caleb Williams could hit the ground running coming into the league, and he has not hit the ground running. He hasn't been terrible, but he hasn't been anything spectacular either. So their defense is a good defense. That's about all I can say for them. Like, it's not a great defense, but they're not bad. They play good defense. They're gonna come in here, a division game. Thursday or Thanksgiving Day game, the whole world watching. So they're gonna come in here hungry. Their season hasn't gone how they wanted, so this is a perfect opportunity for them to, get back on the map. So they're gonna come in here hungry, but at the same time, I just saw something that reminded me, oh yeah, David Montgomery played for the Bears. So in my head, I'm like, wow, what's the over under? We'll say David Montgomery 1.5 touchdowns.
I just thought you said he wasn't gonna be playing.
Who, Montgomery?
Yeah.
No, he said they asked him about it after the game if he could have gone back in the game when they took him out, and he said that he could have gone back and he felt like he could have gone back in, but Dan Campbell told him that it wasn't worth it to go back
Oh, that's what you were saying. Okay, okay.
in.
Well, what did he hurt anyway? Because I know they never said what he hurt. I just saw him taking off his shoulder pads and going in the back.
It's a great clip floating around on like Twitter. He took a hard shot to his shoulder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, man. So to your point, man, I like I've been saying, I fully feel like we'll win this game. The Bears do have a great defense, but like I've been saying all year, man, our offense is better than any great defense on the field right now. Um, and as long as we can keep our defense, and as long as our defense keeps going strong like it is, then yeah, man. Even with the injuries, I don't see a team stopping us. I heard an interesting stat this week that that I didn't know. So on the Bears side, until this past game, Caleb Williams hadn't thrown a touchdown in a month, and vice versa. That we haven't allowed a touchdown in 10 quarters, and in the last 3 games, nobody has scored 1 point on us. So with all that being said, man, it may be a rough game. You know what I'm saying? I think we'll put up some points. Maybe not the blowout game that we usually put up. The Bears have been putting up a fight against team lately, so I can't say that they're the type of team that is sorry. Well, it'll be one of those 52-6 games, but I can still see us winning in a similar game to when we played the Colts, like 28-6 or something like that.
Maybe hard to get Carlton. Oh, so I just Googled Taylor Decker, and 18 hours ago, the Detroit Free Press posted saying that it may be hard to get, or somebody was quoted saying that it may be hard to get Carlton Davis and Taylor Decker on Thursday. So if we don't have Taylor Decker, I didn't like how Jared Goff looked the last time we were missing Taylor Decker. I think that was the Houston game, and he just looked so skittish out there. So I'm with you. I don't think that it would be a blowout, Jaguars or Titans level, but I think they could still have a pretty sizable victory. Jared Goff came out and said that it's been a while since they've won on Thanksgiving Day, so he kind of took it upon himself to put that out there and put that into the universe. So I like that. I like that confidence, that focus. And like I said, David Montgomery, I think he'll play. I think this is David Montgomery revenge game, which bodes very well for the Lions. David Montgomery's also due to have a big game. It's been a lot of Jahmyr Gibbs these past 2 weeks, so this is a perfect David Montgomery spot. But at the end, I'm with you. The Bears offense, when I say stuff like this, it always backfires, but it shouldn't because the Bears offense doesn't terrify anybody. They every week they're trying to get it going, get it off the ground. So DeAndre Swift plays a big role. Everybody thinks of Caleb Williams, but it's really DeAndre Swift that gets the ball rolling, which is what any offense. Getting the running game going helps any offense get started. And DeAndre Swift is the one that starts it over there. But our run defense has been stout, has been fantastic. So but at the same time, it's a DeAndre Swift revenge game, so that's interesting to watch. But I think
Yeah, but I feel like we face stronger backs than DeAndre Swift.
That's I don't know if you want to go down that avenue, but the same way you feel strongly about Pascal and Aleem McNeil, same feelings I have for DeAndre Swift. But I don't think that I don't think DeAndre Swift's getting off against the Lions. I feel pretty confident in saying that. So as far as the score, I think the Bears put up like 13. Lions at home Thanksgiving Day. David Montgomery 2 touchdowns. So Lions 20, 28, 27, 28. We'll go 27. Lions 27, Bears 13.
I can see that. I can rock with that. Yeah, man. Other than that, man, I'm not sure too much I got on that. We went over the injuries. Um, if you want, we can get into our picks from last week.
Yeah, we can knock it out real quick though. Cade Cunningham missed the last 2 games. Cade Cunningham missed the last 2 games.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he took a hard fall 3 games ago. Am I saying that right? Yeah. So 3 games ago in the fourth quarter, He took a hard fall, landed on his back, right on his hip area. I can't think of what you call that, but he took a hard fall, so he missed the last 2 games. First game without him, Pistons lost. Second game last night, they played the Toronto Raptors. I turned it on. It was a good game. Raptors are missing a couple of key players on their side, but it was a battle. The Detroit Pistons fans that were at the game, they were very vocal. It was nice to see. It was good to see. I was watching it and nothing else. I really hope the Pistons won because, like I said, the fans were into the game. A couple of controversial calls. Fans was going crazy. And the game came down to 23 seconds left on the clock, 100 to 100. And Day Ivy, ISO, ran the clock down, got the screen, got the one-on-one, took his man to the basket, hit a tough fadeaway floater with no time left on the clock, knocked down the game-winning shot. It was real good to see. Jaden Ivey had a great game. Jalen Duren had a great game. Asar Thompson was making his return. So Pistons are looking respectable, man, and that's all I really asked for coming into the season. They're 8-11 right now, so I'll be interested to see how it goes. They are 2-0 in the NBA Cup, so they got a big, for those who care about the NBA Cup, they got a big NBA Cup matchup coming up here. I believe it's Friday against the Indiana Pacers. And if they were to win that, I think that would get them into the NBA Cup tournament.
I never got the I guess the plan is an extra playoff spot with the NBA Cup and all that stuff. Sounds made up, man. I never got that stuff.
It's completely made up. It's where I was at before Dan Camp. Well, it's where I was at when the Lions. We'll just say when SOL was still alive. It's where I was at with the Lions. It wasn't about playoffs or anything like that. Of course, that was the end goal, but I was all about small victories. So, get me some guys to the Pro Bowl. Get me some guys God forbid, get me to an all NFL team. And we'll build off of that. And so that's where I am with the NBA Cup. It's a made up thing, but hey, let's get there and then we can keep on moving. It's progress.
Yay, we got this empty trophy.
Hey, LeBron got it and they was in the locker room spraying champagne. So from what the world tells me, if LeBron approves of it, then it must be great.
Yeah, man. But no, shout out to the Pistons, man. Shout out to Jaden Ivey, man. It's good to see them doing good, man. Hopefully, they'll move forward and they'll start winning some games when they get K back, and with the addition to Asar added to the defense, we'll see them a little bit more formidable in these upcoming games.
I'm with it. All right, let's see what we did. Oh man, we'll figure it out. All right, so last week, probably I don't know. This is a contender for biggest upset of the week. Was Pittsburgh going into Cleveland. Cleveland was at home getting 3.5. We were both on Pittsburgh. The whole world was on Pittsburgh. But for whatever reason, man, Jameis Winston, Nick Chubb had 2 touchdowns. I don't think it was really anything that Pittsburgh did to take him out of the game. It was just more so that Cleveland showed up. You had some elements, the snow started coming down. So it was a rough weather game, but this was a surprise for me.
Yeah, man. I just keep hearing, just like Baltimore can't beat Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh can't beat Cleveland, and That was the sentiment of that game. But the return of Nick Chubb too. It, by the way, two touchdowns against Pittsburgh. That's impressive.
Yep, Nick Chubb was on my bench in fantasy this week, so that's how that goes. Um, Minnesota went to Chicago. Chicago was at home. They were given 3. Minnesota won this game in overtime by 3, so that was a push for us. I take all pushes as victories in my book. So it was a surprise. I thought Minnesota was dominating this game, and they just kind of let Chicago back in.
Yeah, man. This crazy that Chicago let this game slip away. A division loss is a division loss in any form fashion. I think I would have rather had seen Minnesota take that loss to put them a couple of games behind us. But hey, whatever, man. Chicago lost. That's good enough for me. But Chicago seemed to gave this game away. They scored at the last minute. Got the onside kick and tied the game up, and just could not pull it out in the end.
Yeah, man. About the division, it's crazy that we are one loss away from being tied with Minnesota as well as we are playing, and it don't even feel like Minnesota is really playing that well. I know Justin Jefferson had I think it was like a career low in yards that game, man, but they still found a way to win. And Sam Darnold is playing, good football, but he's not putting any fear as a Lions fan in anyone. So it's interesting that they're still hanging around. They're only one game behind us, so we need somebody to knock off Minnesota.
Yeah, man. I was looking at his stats because I had recommended somebody pick Justin Jefferson in this game. I was looking at the stats. It was like the end of the third quarter, and he had like 7 yards. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, he didn't finish with nothing crazy at all. Detroit versus the Colts. We was both on Detroit. We talked about it. Detroit came in, took care of business. Nothing really more needs to be said about that. So if Pittsburgh losing to Cleveland wasn't your shock of the week, how about Dallas? Dallas going to Washington. Washington was favored by 10. They end up losing that game to Dallas.
Yeah, man. I was shocked though. I mean, the way Dallas had been playing, I didn't think they was gonna win another game of the season. But just like the Bears did, Washington gave this game away. Dallas had this game wrapped up, and they let the Washington score I want to say like an 87-yard touchdown with like a few seconds left on this game, and when they came down and got the ball back and missed the field goal or something, I can't remember how it ended, but they
missed the extra point.
They missed the extra point. Duh. That kicker needs to be fired immediately. He couldn't even talk to me on the bus ride
home. Yeah, man. That kicker is on my fantasy team as well. And I was looking for new kickers because, I'm with you. I was like, he needs to be fired immediately. But I couldn't do it, man, because he's been so consistent all year. And this was his first game back from injury. So I'm going to give him a week to redeem himself because I think he missed the last 2 weeks because of injury. But before that, he had been very, very reliable. So I'm going to give him another ride. Obviously, Washington's going to give him another shot. But that was a shocker, man. We did say that Dallas was not a serious team until Micah Parsons returned, and their defense was playing great. Their special teams played great. But it's a shocker that they were still able. I would have never picked them. Maybe if you gave me 14.5, I might have picked Dallas. But I didn't expect that at all.
Yeah, man. You can give him another chance, man. If the guy hurt, man, like I'm not a fan of like there's this thing like, oh man, players that come out and they tough it out. Like, man, that guy's tough. Man, if you hurt, sit your ass down, man. If you hurting the team, sit your ass down.
Yeah, he probably could have took another week off. Kansas City went to Carolina. Carolina had another opportunity to put themselves in the biggest shock of the week category. They
Carolina it up.
they well, they came back. They was down. They was down. They was down 2 scores a couple times, but they ended up coming all the way back and took it to overtime, if I'm not mistaken. But we was both on KC, and if you're a Carolina fan, hey, moral
Hey,
victories are a thing.
I'm gonna take a ESPN take on this game. I'm not gonna talk about how good Carolina played. I'm gonna talk about the narrative of the week is uh, uh, can Kansas City maintain what they're doing because they've barely been winning all season long, and they've only lost one game, and technically they should have lost this game to Carolina. Is Carolina? I mean, is Kansas City still the favorite to go to the Super Bowl, or do you think that they're just setting themselves up for failure?
I think that they're still my favorite to go to the Super Bowl. But I think a lot of people will make a better case for Buffalo and Baltimore over Kansas City. My thing is that at this point of the season, they are not playing their best football, but yet they still only have one loss. I don't. They're still without Isaiah Pacheco, so I believe he's supposed to come back sometime this season. So I'll be interested to see. I think as far as injuries, I don't know if they're getting anybody back in the wide receiver core. But the point being is that they're playing subpar football and they're still winning right now. So if they were battling, all types of injuries and people were falling off every week and nobody was coming back, then I would be more in the camp of they're going to crash and burn. But I think people will start coming back, and towards the playoffs, they're still they're still the team to beat to me.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you, man. It's hard to bet against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, but I will say, man, they looking real suspect.
No, I'm not mad at that. That was a different game. I'm not sure, but yeah, their defense is keeping them in the games though. So you know, if it's a toss up game and then Patrick Mahomes is in the game, he's got the ball. That's never a good spot to be in. Um, Tampa Bay went to New Jersey to take on the New York Giants. We were both on Tampa Bay. I tried to make up some faux concern about Tommy DeVito. But at the end of the day, Tommy DeVito looked like the guy that you were describing.
It was inevitable.
He every time I looked up, every time they cut to the game, Tommy DeVito was taking another shot. And then I think towards the end of the game, he took that one shot where he got it, where he didn't get back up. And I don't know who they put back. I don't know who they put. I guess Drew Lock, who was mad that he wasn't starting. So the Giants are a whole dysfunctional organization right now.
Disband them.
Ban them. I'm okay with it. Relegate them. Make an expansion team. All of that, man. They are
Hey,
insult to the league.
the Giants should forfeit the rest of their games. Everybody who has to play the Giants for the rest of the season just get an automatic win.
The Giants are a clown show organization right now. They didn't give up. They got the defensive end Ojulari that I wanted the Lions to get, but they said he wasn't available. Like they just don't. People are laughing at him because Saquon Barkley is having a career year, a record-setting year in NFL history type. and then the quarterback that you just gave a contract extension to, you just cut him from your team. So, they
Man,
just find new ways to just look bad.
imagine you a GM. Like, are these guys just meeting at each other at the bar? Like, man, I let Saquon Barkley go, and then the other GMs just sitting there like, you think you got it bad? I let Derrick Henry go. like, like, how do you feel if you that guy?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Is my thing is you couldn't find I mean, Derrick Henry too, but you couldn't find a trade partner for Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley, or you just didn't have any. What's the word I'm looking for? You didn't have the presence of mind. You weren't attached enough to the situation to realize that you weren't going to be able to re-sign these guys. Like, that's the type of stuff, man, where you deserve to be fired. Somebody described it as all a GM is a fantasy football manager getting paid millions of dollars. So,
Honestly, man, I don't feel bad for these teams, man. Saquon Barkley and Henry were incredibly underappreciated on their teams. I don't think their teams were using them right. They're finally on teams that see their value, and it's showing in their gameplay. Like, these guys are fighting for MVP of the league, and it's the first time in a long time that we've seen MVP candidate that's not a quarterback.
the thing the thing about it is these if we did a rewind on time and put these guys back on their original teams, they wouldn't be doing this. And that's because
Right.
the Titans are bad and the Giants are bad. So even if you would have re-signed these guys, it wouldn't have made a difference. Your team would have still been bad, and their careers still would have looked bad. So it really comes down to why, which is where which is my argument. I understand keeping, like, I'm not to take it back to basketball, but I understand keeping Cade Cunningham. But the people that don't understand people who talk about trading Cade Cunningham, like, people are just like, why would you trade Cade Cunningham? That's who we need here to do the rebuild. And it's like, that was the same argument for Matthew Stafford. Like, no, we don't need to trade Matthew Stafford. We need to make the team better. And it's like, I understand we need to make the team better, but the team is so bad that you can't just change your whole roster over 1 year. Like, that's going to take, well, in the case of the Lions, that's going to take 2 to 3 years. So at that point, you can just speed up the process, give up that player, and get more picks to make that process faster. And then, you don't want to give up a great talent. You don't want to give up phenomenal talent. But at the same time, the only option is to continue to have a bad team with a great player. And that's not going to get you anything really in the long run. Like, you have to have a good team and great players.
Yeah, no, and I get your point, but I mean, but to your other point, like, not only did they have a great talent on these teams, even though they were bad, but at least with the Matthew Stafford trade, you got picks back. I mean, you got picks that could turn around your team. If the Pistons were to trade Cade Cunningham, I'm sure they would get picks back or something that's going to turn your team around. These teams have done nothing like that. They just was like, "You out of here, buddy." And like what picks did the Giants get for Saquon Barkley? What picks um did Tennessee get for Derrick Henry? And on top of that, you paid a quarterback tons of money and cut him at the end of the season. And the Titans got rid of D Hop, so and they ain't getting nothing for him. So it's like, what are these guys doing?
Titans did trade D Hop, but unless they cut, he didn't. No, it wasn't. They traded it. They got something for him. It wasn't a whole lot, but they did make a trade for D Hop. But I'm with you though. to release. That's what they did to release. You know, you can say let them go, whatever. They let a non-quarterback. They let top 25 players that are not quarterbacks just walk away. For me as a fan, that is inexcusable. That would drive me absolutely crazy because I guarantee you, if I was a fan of one of these teams, the whole time leading up unto this, I would have been like, we got to trade this guy. We got to trade. I would have been banging at the drum on my team to trade Saquon Barkley or trade Derrick Henry because I could see that we're not going anywhere. And this is, and I would use as a fan of these other teams, I would use the Detroit Lions. Like, look, they weren't going anywhere. And what did they do? They started all over. They traded their best player, and look at them now. Like, the case study has been done. The evidence is right there. And instead, the Giants were like, nah, we'll just see how it goes. Titans were like, hey, man, we really like you here. We don't really want to trade you. We like having you here, but we can't pay you either. So, hey, let's just ride it out and have a good year. Like, it would be an inexcusable error as a fan if I witnessed that happen.
Yeah, man.
Oh man, I just had what was it? I can't remember. It was something. Shoot, hold on one second. God, I hope it come back to me. It was something I wanted to talk about. We was talking about that, but I'll keep going. Hopefully, it come back to me. New England. Went to Miami. Miami handled New England. That's what Miami does: is beat up on bad teams.
Okay, so here's another question. Another question that popped up this week. Is Miami a playoff team?
Yeah. Miami is always a playoff team, and they're always the first round elimination.
So even with Tua, you don't think Miami makes it past the first round?
I remember. Even with Tua, no, they had Tua last year, and they didn't make it past the first round, and they ended up having to play a cold weather team. And people going into it was like, yeah, everybody knows the Dolphins don't play well in the cold weather. And sure enough, that high flying offense, that 70-point offense, looked dead, and the offense was boring, and nothing translated, and they got bounced in the first round. And that's where I see him at now. The book right now for Miami is they don't play well in cold weather, and they don't beat good teams, but they destroy bad teams.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I think Miami makes it to the playoffs. It was looking real bad for them with Tua out. Uh, Miami needs to get a defense, man. I mean, they got offensive weapons on. They need a defense and a sustainable backup quarterback. But yeah, man, I'm with you. I don't see them getting past. I don't see them getting too far into the playoffs. I think they come back and make the playoffs. It wasn't looking good for them even making the playoffs for a little while, but with Tua back, they proved that they can make it to the playoffs. But I don't see them making it much further than that. But yeah, they got a long way. They got a long way to go to work. A lot of things to work on.
I remember what I wanted to say. I feel like I'm a man of the people. I feel like I got a pretty good finger on the pulse of what everybody's saying, whether I agree or disagree with it. I can usually work my mind around where this is coming from. And over the weekend, I saw people. I won't say a tweet from your people at Woodward. Woodward Sports put it out. And I clicked on it to comments because I wanted to see the comments that were like, oh, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like, y'all tripping. Like, what are you talking about? But no, I didn't see that. I saw, yeah, that would be a great idea. Yeah, I hope they do it. Da, 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 da. I'm like, what world am I living in? So the thing that I saw was, should the Detroit Lions sign Daniel Jones?
Oh, nah, not at all. No, that's craziness.
Hey man, I thought it was crazy too, and I'm like, what world am I living in where Daniel Jones is the answer to any question?
So, so the only thing I can think of, man, is there is a big majority of people who want to trade away Hendon Hooker, and they will accept any backup quarterback available in order to get that done because they do not want Hendon Hooker. I mean, they want to get something for Hendon Hooker. And, I've always been on the camp of, keeping Hendon Hooker. You know what I'm saying? I want Hendon Hooker on the team. But there's a big majority of fans that want so badly for the team to get rid of Hendon Hooker.
Well, for those fans, the trade deadline is come and gone, so you can't get rid of him this year. So it wouldn't even be a point of signing Daniel Jones this year. There was one of the reporters put out a list of teams that were interested in Daniel Jones, and the Lions were on that list. It was a reputable reporter, so I was just blown away. Like, why would the Lions even think about Hendon Hooker? And I mean, I don't need to ask you. I already know your answer, but I'm gonna ask you anyway. People were trying to upsell this idea because obviously Daniel Jones has been a starter in the league for like 3 years, so he's had plenty of experience. But that being said, if Jared Goff were to get hurt, would you rather see Daniel Jones out there or Hendon Hooker?
Of course, I'm gonna say Hendon Hooker, man. I don't want to see Daniel Jones on my enemy's team. Like, if the Bears or the Packers were walking up to me and like, "Hey, dog, do you think we should get Daniel Jones?" I'd be like, "Whoa, dog, I don't think y'all should do that."
I'm with you, man. I feel like I just woke up and I woke up in a world where nobody's seen Daniel Jones play football.
Nah, man. But you know what I'm saying? But and another thing to those fans, man, that want so badly, like I think the Lions picked Hendon Hooker for a reason. Um because they saw him and he was one of their guys. They were happy with that guy. I don't know what the future plans is for Hendon Hooker, but as far as I know, from my experience and what the Lions have been doing, the Lions upper management is like, man, I don't give a fuck what the fans say. We gonna do what the fuck we want to do anyway. And it just seems like whether you think it's smart or not, it feels like the Lions are gonna do whatever fuck they want to do. And I just feel like Hendon Hooker is not going anywhere.
Yeah, no, Hendon Hooker is not going anywhere. We talked about it with the defense, next man up mentality, and like I said, you are able. Every team has the next man up mentality, but it's different with the Lions. And why is it different? Because of the depth that we talked about ad nauseum. The Lions are so deep at every position, and why should quarterback be any different? And
Right.
yeah, you don't have a veteran quarterback. You got a rookie quarterback. Or he's not a rookie anymore, but you know what I mean. You got a rookie quarterback back there, and
Essentially a rookie.
yeah, and the whole thing is for
He
him
was
to
hurt
just
last.
sit back there and learn. And honestly, I am in my heart, I believe that the Lions have no intention of Hendon Hooker playing anytime soon. And people are mad at that, like, oh, that's a waste of a pick. That's not a waste of a pick because you don't know if Jared Goff will get hurt. Nobody knows if Jared Goff gets hurt. And then if Jared
Right.
Goff does get hurt, now you're scrambling. And then you could say, well, you should just sign a backup and then have him, But then it's like you're only going to put so much money into a backup quarterback. Yeah, I mean that's it. So you paying Hendon Hooker no money to be your backup quarterback. The kid has loads of potential. He's got all the time in the world to develop and be ready. And if break glass in case of emergency ever happens, then this guy could potentially be starting for another team, especially with the if Caleb Williams could start for another team. No offense to Bryce Young, if Bryce Young could start for another team. Coming out of the Colts game, I don't know if you've been hearing it, but all I've been hearing is, man, you really saw how raw Anthony Richardson is. You really saw how much he got to develop. Bo Nix hit the ground running, but Bo Nix stayed in college for over 4 years. So he's had, which is rare. Everybody wants to come out as fast as they can. So, something
Right.
about players, NBA, NFL, if you stay in college, that people nowadays, man, people use that against you. Oh, he's too old. He's been in college so long. So,
Right.
it's reports that, hey, maybe the Falcons might be looking to move Kirk Cousins because Michael Penix, another guy that stayed in college all that time and had all that time to develop, and now he's had a whole season to sit. So, yeah, man, I'm with you, man. I don't think Hendon Hooker's going anywhere, and I think this is a problem with a lot of it's a problem throughout society and a lot of different things that we see and that we do. But the end thing is, like, people don't want to look at the big picture. They just want to look at right now and look at hindsight and just say, oh, that was dumb, that was stupid, that was a waste of a pick. But yeah, man, like, if it ever came down to it, I'm with you. I would feel much more comfortable with Hendon Hooker out there, somebody who's been in the system, somebody who knows the room, somebody who, again, goes back to what I was saying in the Lions recipe video. Shout out to everybody for pumping that video up. We still going. We had like 2.7 thousand views, but it's
Shout out.
it's the fact that these guys this is all they know. All they know is grit. All they know is the Lion culture. Daniel Jones. If you get Daniel Jones in here, you gotta. I mean, I don't know how. It might not even be a hard process, but you gotta undo everything that happened over there in the Giants organization. And I don't want to take the project. Somebody else can have that project.
Man, just retire. It's just you got your money, go home. Like if I say Daniel Jones showing up to try out, what are you doing here, dog? Just go home.
Daniel Jones makes sense. Where would I don't even know where Daniel Jones would make sense at, man.
The only place I could say the worst quarterback in the league right now, the only person I would say that's not worse than Daniel Jones and where he would make sense would probably be Will Levis and the Titans.
Oh, I can't wait to get to that. Oh, that's a great segue. So, Tennessee went to Houston, and I sat here and I racked my brain, and I was tiptoed up to the line, and I pressed the Tennessee Titans button. And as I watched that game, and Will Levis was throwing 80-yard touchdown passes, I was like, Will Levis did it for me. and on the flip side, man, Houston continues to, I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
Man, CJ Stroud pulled a Dan Orlovsky right out the back of the end zone.
You hate to see it.
It's like our guys did a flip. Like, you know what? You've been having a bad season, or you go ahead and have a good game this time. But I will say, man, Will Levis had one good game last season as well, man. So right now he's averaging one good game a season. So I'll give him that.
So here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say on this. And I can say it easily today because I won this battle. But as far as the war, you are clearly winning the war because we went to war over Will Levis versus CJ Stroud a couple years ago, and Will Levis, CJ Stroud hit the ground running, and Will Levis just like fell out the car and was like rolling alongside the road, and he would get up, and then another car would come up and hit him again, and meanwhile, CJ Stroud is like, miles and miles down the road. So Will Levis is still trying to catch up. But what I will say is back to the whole college thing and people in the Anthony Richardson and taking time to develop. Will Levis has not looked as bad as he did, last year and the beginning of this year. he has been improving. He has been taking better care of the ball, and he throws a really good deep ball. That's one thing that no matter what you got to say about him is he throws a really good deep ball. And so at this
Yeah, but
point,
that was the problem.
you're right. That's one thing that he can always hang his hat on. So at this point, it's just a matter of maturation and understanding the offense, understanding the defenses, and pocket presence because he's got terrible pocket presence, and all of that is improving week by week. So I'm interested to see how it continues to go. We talked about they were just gonna keep Will Levis in there for him to go get the number one pick for him to get his job replaced. So I'll
Yeah.
continue to monitor this situation.
So where are you at on that, man? Like, dog, if I'm Tennessee, I'm still getting rid of him, man. Where are you at? Where are you at on that? Do you stick it out with Will Levis, or do you draft your third quarterback in 3 years?
Well, I mean, what I look at my pathways. And okay, if I get the number one pick and say I could get Shador Sanders, I think I would take Shador Sanders over Will Levis. But say I end up with like 3 or 4 or 5, and there's another quarterback there sitting at 3, 4, or 5, but there's also a Travis Hunter or a dynamic player, this running back out of Boise State. I don't know if he's coming out this year, but people are saying he's just so electrifying because while Tennessee's defense is at the top of the league as far as yards allowed, but Tennessee's record is terrible. So I haven't done a deep dive, but off the top of my head, I would imagine they give up so many points because the offense is constantly putting them in bad short field situations to where the opposition is going to score. So, like I said, if Will Levis continues to improve as I feel like he's improving, and I can make my team better because I'm a big Tony Pollard fan. Calvin Ridley is young; he's under contract. I like this Westbrook Akine. I've been watching him since the Lions played him. He every week he's making a big catch. And then, like I said, their defense is good at maintaining yards, stopping yards. So I feel like maybe if offensive lineman is available and you can add to the offensive line, or you could go for back to the whole Will Levis and CJ Stroud. You could take the third best available quarterback on the board, or I could take the best offensive lineman on the board. Then yeah, I'm taking the best offensive lineman. Now, if I get the number one pick, then I might have to change my stance. I might take a quarterback.
Yeah, man, I'm with you. I don't know, man. I think I'm getting rid of him. But you know what? I mean, it would still be his job to lose next year. And you know what I'm saying? I would still give him a fighting chance. But I would definitely draft. I would definitely have a two quarterbacks next season, and the best man wins. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna have to fight to prove that you belong in the NFL because I don't think another team will pick him up. But I got a real quick question for you. Since we're on quarterbacks, I want to go back to Dallas real quick, man. It's harder to present this question since they won. But if you were Dallas, man, uh, would you start Trey Lance over Cooper Rush?
No, no. I'm. I think Trey Lance is well. I mean, they're starting Jameis Winston, but I was gonna say Trey Lance is like a young Jameis Winston, where he's gonna go out there and he's gonna make the offense look great. Like the numbers wise, his numbers are gonna look great. But I don't know who he's gonna throw the ball to on any given pass. And
It's only CD Lamb out there.
no, I'm talking about the other team. He might throw to CeeDee Lamb. He might throw to the other guy. I don't know what that guy's gonna do out there, but he might put up 300 yards too. But Cooper Rush, though, he's been here. He's been here. He had some success when that got hurt last year. So I wouldn't, and they never really made it seem like it was a question when Dak did get hurt. I think I don't even know if Trey even saw the field in that game, so I don't think they have that much belief in Trey Lance.
I'm saying you traded for him. I mean, you traded for him. Don't you at least want to see what you got in game time action? I mean, the season is pretty much a wash.
I get that, but when they traded for him, they do things a little bit differently in Dallas. Because when they traded for him, people were surprised that they traded for him. And when they traded for Mingo from Carolina, people thought that was an overpay. So Dallas marches to the beat of their own drum. I mean, if you throw them out there, if you throw them out there and it works, cool. But if you throw them out there and you lose in a tight game, then because they still feel like they still feel like they got a chance.
Mm, I don't know about that. I mean, Washington has slipped the last couple of weeks. I don't know what's going on in Washington, but they haven't looked as good as they did at the beginning of the season. I mean, it is a long season, but Washington doesn't look like the Washington they looked like before. So I don't know if it's so much that Dallas won that game or Washington let that game slip away. But I didn't really watch that game, but it seems like that was more Washington letting that game slip away than it was Dallas winning that game. So I don't know how much more of a season Dallas has left. When we get to our picks for this week, I don't know who Dallas is playing, but I'm sure I'm not going to pick them.
Yeah, no, I don't think that they have a chance. But like I said, Dallas marches to the beat of their own drum. I thought there was one more thing I wanted to. I'll probably come back up, but yeah, Denver went to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. That Denver train continues to beat on.
Yeah,
Bo Nix with another good game.
people still underrating Denver, man.
he's got a who's who of receivers out there, but he gets it to them. I can't even think of who their running back is off the top of my head, but they continue to get it done, man. Not a lot to say about it.
Nah.
This game, I wish if we would have known the circumstances, I don't know, we might have changed our opinions. But San Francisco went to Green Bay. Neither of us at the time knew that Brock Purdy was going to miss the game. But for anybody who doesn't think Brock Purdy is that good of a quarterback, San Francisco looked terrible without him.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's not that Brock Purdy isn't. It's not that Brock Purdy isn't a good quarterback. It's just that. So Brock Purdy has that Jared Goff syndrome. It's like he's gonna do what he needs to do, man. He's gonna sustain. He's not gonna turn over the ball. He's gonna get the ball to where it needs to be, but he's not gonna do anything amazing. He's not gonna run for 40 yards. He's not gonna do anything crazy. It's just he just puts the ball where it needs to be, and that's what Brock Purdy is, man. He's just a quarterback merchant.
I understand what you're saying, and I'm not gonna argue with you on it. It's just funny that your choice of words were he's not gonna do anything amazing, and then I thought of the ball bouncing off of Kendall Vildor's face mask and the Brandon Ayuk's hand, and he's not gonna run for 40 yards. And I think he finished the game against the Lions in that playoff game with like 44 yards. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, the bouncing off the helmet thing wasn't really him so much as Kendall Vildor not being aware of where the ball was. But
Now he did have that one play though where the Lions had him dead to rights, and he like slipped underneath. He did like a sidestep, and then he ran like 3-4 yards, and then he did like a jump pass to maybe it was Jennings or maybe it was Ayuk across the middle. Like that was something that Jared Goff cannot do because he had an opportunity to do something like that in that Colts game where pressure was coming and he stepped up in the pocket and I can't remember how he did it. He almost did like a spin move or he did something where he evaded the sack that was coming in. And then I thought he was about to make a great play, but I think he just collapsed or slid. And but he's trying to work that into his game. So credit to him.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
but Purdy's a little bit more athletic than Golf is.
slightly.
Slightly. I'm not mad at that. All right. My favorite part of the picks. Arizona went to Seattle. It was a pick 'em. I have Kyler Murray and Jared Goff on my fantasy team, and I was losing sleep over who I should start. And Kyler Murray was getting the nod all week, and then I saw that it was going to be a rainy day in Seattle, and I was like, all right, I'll go with Jared Goff inside the dome. Like we said, Jared Goff did not have any touchdowns, but I don't think Kyler Murray did either. Kyler Murray had quite a bad game, and
Kyler Murray had an awful game.
and I looked it up because, like I said, I was riding with Kyler Murray the whole time, but I'm trying to find any angle that I can to make this decision. And Kyler Murray going into the game was 2-6 against Seattle for his career. So now he's 2-7. So Kyler Murray has constantly struggled against the Seahawks.
Yeah, man. I want to say he threw like 2 picks in that game. Seattle just ran away with that game, man. It wasn't even a game. So I remember before we were struggling on who to pick for that game. Who did we pick anyway?
You settled on Arizona. I took Seattle.
I'm not looking good this week.
It's okay, man. I got you. I'm looking great. Philadelphia went to LA to take on the Rams. Rams were at home getting 3. I kind of always find myself taking Philly, and this was no different. You took the Rams plus the 3 at home Monday night or Sunday night football.
Hey man, who knew that Saquon Barkley was going to run for 250 yards in that game? I mean, you just can't pick that.
You can't. LA looked good. Their first 2 drives. Their first drive ended with a Kyron Williams fumble, who's also on my fantasy team. I need him to get that together, hold on to the ball. He's been coughing it up a little bit too much for my liking. Philly just stayed the course, handed the ball to Saquon. They didn't have Devontae Smith, but Saquon Barkley is having an MVP year.
Yeah, I can't argue with that, man.
And the last game, Monday Night Football, the Hard Bowl, Baltimore going into LA to take on the Chargers. For me, Baltimore coming off a loss to they lost to Pittsburgh. Oh, that was Pittsburgh, yeah. I feel like they lost to somebody else too, though. Cleveland, right?
They lost. Yeah, Cleveland.
Yeah, they lost to Cleveland and they lost to Pittsburgh last week. So coming off of that, they had opportunity to go ahead and take on the Chargers. The Chargers, who are essentially Baltimore West.
It wasn't back to back though, was it? It was a game in between that, wasn't it?
I was trying to remember myself. It might have been back to back though, honestly. It might have been like a Thursday night football game they lost to Cleveland, but I'm not sure. Because I know Cincinnati was in there too on a Thursday night. So I think they beat Cincinnati and then they lost those 2 maybe. But yeah, those are the last. Wow, they've had 3 straight division games. But anyway, the Chargers are a good team. Like I said, I wanted to pick Justin Herbert, but I just couldn't take the Chargers against Baltimore. Like I said, Chargers are Baltimore West. J.K. Dobbins left that game, didn't come back. Chargers had a lot of drops, and Derrick Henry, when in doubt, just get a ball to Derrick Henry.
The Chargers are a good team. They're not on Baltimore level. I honestly think that Baltimore should make the Super Bowl, but Baltimore is just one of them teams. They just drop games that they shouldn't for no reason, man. I don't know what it is about them. They should Baltimore should be unbeatable, man, but they're just not.
Baltimore's defense, Baltimore's pass defense is terrible. Like you can put up points on Baltimore, and you can put up points on Baltimore, and that's the thing that holds them back. Every time I watch a Baltimore game, there's like three things that always remain constant. One, Baltimore is going to commit a bunch of penalties. Two, Baltimore is going to probably be losing at some point, and then at some point they're going to make a comeback. It's going to be like a tidal wave. Like it starts slow, and then it just gets so big that it's over. And three is that they're going to put up points on their defense. The other team's going to put up points on their defense.
Yeah, man. But with that, man, what I'm scared to look at it. What's the score looking like?
Oh man, the score, don't be afraid, man. It looks great. So on that for the week, I went 9-4. That puts my total at 83 and 80. You went 5-8. You are still on the plus side at 82 and 81. But there is a new front runner in town.
I'll make it up this week, man. I'll make it up this week.
I don't doubt it.
Speaking of next week coming up, man, we might as well do the Thanksgiving games before we get out of here.
Okay, that works for me. I mean, how you looking on time? You want to do Thanksgiving, or you want to just knock it all out?
No, we can knock it all out.
All right, sounds good to me. Let me just pull it up real quick. That's not it. All right. Oh man, yeah. It's some good games on Thanksgiving. I was nervous about last week's my fantasy team last week. Like Jalen Waddle, man. I knew in my heart that Jalen Waddle was finally gonna have a good game, but I just couldn't start him because he's just been so bad all year. And Jalen Waddle had a phenomenal game.
Yeah, I wanted the Lions to pick Jalen Waddle, man, but he's just so hit or miss.
Yeah.
But I think that's only because he's in the shadow of Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
And Tyreek Hill hasn't even having that great of a season this year either.
Nah, they picked up tight end Jonnu Smith from ironically from Tennessee. And Tua loves this guy, man. He makes a effort to get him the ball. So I think that's kind of where a lot of Jalen Waddle's targets have been going this year. All right, man. I'm not gonna be able to see you on my camera while I'm doing this, but we could still, if you got something, just let me know. But the first game we got is Chicago going to Detroit, Thanksgiving Day, 12:30. The Lions are at home. They are giving 10.
We discussed this earlier, man. I think the Lions take this game despite the injuries. The Lions are a better team than the Bears. The Bears have been fleeting all season. I think the Bears will put up a decent fight, and then the Lions will just run away with it at the end of the game like they always do.
Yeah, man. If you want to look something up, I don't have it available to me right now, but not only are Lions a great team and are 10-1 and having a phenomenal season, but against the spread, bro, like if you just spent all year betting on the Lions, you would be a very happy person right now.
Yeah, I would look it up for you, man. But whenever I try to look something up in the middle of the cast, it kicks me offline, so
Oh
I
yeah,
can't do it.
nah, it's their record as far as the spread is very very good. But I'm with you. I'm with the Lions. I think David Montgomery anytime touchdown. I think that's a great bet. Jared
Definitely.
Goff didn't throw a touchdown last week, so I feel confident saying he throws one this week.
Same Jared Goff to St. Brown, almost a given.
Yeah. Um, yeah. St. Brown does hate the Bears, so I wouldn't be surprised at him trying to get in the end zone for that. But then you got JMO. This is technically a primetime game, so you can't rule out primetime JMO. So I'm with you. Lions -10. I can't go against that. Uh, New York Giants are going to
Oh,
Dallas to take on the
oh,
Cowboys.
whoever it is. Oh, the Cowboys. Oh my goodness.
Hey, check this. Cowboys are at home giving 3.5.
Ah, oh man. Um, damn. And I said I was not gonna pick the Cowboys, but if it had to be any team, it was the Giants, and I can't pick the Giants, man. Uh, damn. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna roll with the Cowboys. That's an awful game.
Yeah, people were arguing whether or not they should do something with this game.
Yeah, they need to flex, do something with that game, man. They need to flex that game. But yeah, man. If I had to pick the worst of the two, the Giants are the worst. The Cowboys are probably going to take that game, especially the way they played last week. I will have to pick the Cowboys over the Giants because you never pick the Giants.
You never pick the Giants. The only case I can make for taking the Giants would be maybe if Drew Lock gets to start and they stay away from Tommy DeVito. But even that's not even a strong case. The Cowboys defense played really well, and I don't think Drew Lock or Tommy DeVito are gonna handle pressure well, defensive pressure well. So I'm with you. Give me the Cowboys. Um, Next up, you got Miami going to Green Bay. Green Bay is at home, giving Miami 3.5.
Ooh, that's a tough one, man. Uh, you said Green Bay is giving 3.5.
Yep.
Shoot, Miami's been on a roll, but I think Green Bay edges Miami out. Miami just doesn't have any defense, man, and Green Bay defense is better than Miami, especially with their if you would put their offense neck and neck, I would say it would be a shootout. But Green Bay has a better defense than Miami, so I think Green Bay pulls this one out.
I can't disagree with you. Like I said before, I don't think um, Miami beats good teams. I think Green Bay is a good team. So I'm taking Green Bay. That's the Thursday night game on Thanksgiving. This is an interesting spread. um, Black Friday football. Las Vegas Raiders are going into Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. Chiefs are at home giving 12.5.
Okay. So I said it before when they played them earlier this year. For some reason, the Las Vegas Raiders have the Chiefs number, and it didn't come true last time. The Chiefs pulled it out, But I'm gonna stick with that same sentiment, and I'm gonna take the 12 with the loss rate with the Raiders and say that the Raiders win this game. The Chiefs are not big on big spreads anywhere. You taught me that.
I did, and you are correct when you say that the the uh, the Raiders always play the Chiefs tough. It's a Black Friday primetime game, 3 o'clock. Short turnaround for both teams. Um, God. Oh wow. My bad. I got a text message. Oh my goodness, man. What do I do here? Gardner Minshew and the Las Vegas Raiders versus Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. I'm with you, man. I'm just gonna go ahead. Yeah, like you said, that'd be one of my biggest problems in gambling is I feel like I learned something and then I just be like, you know what, I'm gonna spit in the face of it. I'm not gonna do that this time. I'll go down with the Raiders, whatever. Max Crosby. Uh,
The smart money says always bet with the Chiefs, but like I just can't go like for some reason the Raiders just like you said they just play them hard and like that'll be that trap game that comes out and just and the Chiefs just come out and ham it up.
And the Chiefs have been like you said, man. The Chiefs have been playing so lackluster. The Raiders would be a great like team to turn everything around on. So I wouldn't even rule that out. But at the same time, 12 and a half,
It's a lot of points.
It's a lot of points. It's a lot of points, and that would have to be a blowout. And the Chiefs just haven't been playing blowout football. And if the Raiders do get blown out like that, then they might be looking at my man on the sideline. What's my man there?
And he's the new coach, right?
Yeah,
I don't know his name, but I don't think they'll be.
Antonio Pierce.
I don't think they'll be looking at him because I mean he doesn't really have much to work with.
I don't know, man. They didn't want to let Max Crosby go. That's all I'm saying. All right. Next up, we got this girl. Next up, we got Indianapolis Colts going to New England. New England is at home. They're giving 2.5.
I'm gonna take the Colts. The Colts played us good, man. I think that the New England just hasn't done anything to make me pick them, dog. I mean, teams haven't played well after they play us, but New England just they don't inspire me, man. So I'm gonna go with the Colts.
Yeah. I think Drake May's been playing pretty well this year, but he hasn't done anything. He hasn't been playing. He's no Bo Nix out there. I'll just say it like that. And I'm with you. I got some respect for the Colts. We didn't go out there and embarrass them. And they put up a fight. They looked. How can I put it? Like their energy was there, but they just weren't firing like our team is. They're not there yet. Their chemistry isn't there. Their energy was at the right place, but their chemistry just wasn't. And when you play a better team, then whichever team's got better chemistry is gonna win out. And that's the Lions most days than not. So New England, I think they're a beatable team. I'm with you. I'm taking the Colts.
Yeah, man, the Colts could have been in that game, man. They kept shooting themselves in the foot. I mean, any good play that they made, it was just a penalty after penalty after penalty.
Okay, we got Pittsburgh going to Cincinnati. Cincinnati at home giving 3.
Oh, buddy. So I think Cincinnati wins this game because Cincinnati has been playing amazing, man. It's just they find ways to lose games, man. I don't know what to do because I feel like they're gonna go out there and play an amazing game and then like lose at the end, man. But I'm gonna go against the grain, man. I'm gonna take Cincinnati. I'm gonna say they're gonna pull this one out.
Um, I like it. I'm not mad at it. I am taking Pittsburgh. Um,
I'm not mad at that. I wanted to do it.
yeah, Pittsburgh +3. Division game. Not gonna bet against Mike Tomlin. That's all. That's about all analysis I got. But no, Cincinnati has been playing well, and if Cincinnati is able to make this a high scoring game, then they'll definitely have a chance of winning this game. But if it's a weather, nasty weather, whatever, battle it out, then obviously you would say
If Cincinnati, if I take the L on this game, I would not be surprised. I'd be like, yep,
the LA Chargers are going to. Is that right? Or is that wrong? No, that's wrong. Oh no, that's right. Okay. Yeah, the LA Chargers are going to Atlanta. Atlanta's at home, and they are getting to.
yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chargers on this game, man. I think that uh the Chargers are a solid team, man, and they just lost the game, so they're gonna be pretty pissed. Atlanta is a shaky team, man. It's not that Atlanta's a bad team. They just not. They just shaky, man. You never know what you're gonna get out of Atlanta, and I feel like the Chargers are a little bit more solid than them. So give me the Chargers this time.
I am not mad at the pick. God, man, I might go this whole season and never bet on Justin Herbert. People on watch this will be like, "Wow, Marcus, why do you hate Justin Herbert?" And I'll just be like, "What? That is crazy." But I'm not
He let
taking
me
Justin
down.
Herbert. Huh?
He let me down.
It's
Yeah,
not even
answer is
Justin
he let
Herbert.
me down.
It's not
You
even
are
Justin.
just a Herbert fan.
I will go down with the Justin Herbert ship, but if you watch this podcast, you would think that I think he's the worst quarterback in football. So this will be another week that I'm not taking Justin Herbert. Um, um, I think I don't know. I don't know the status of J.K. Dobbins. Like I said, he left the game last night, didn't come back. And Atlanta, I think Atlanta and
Dang, that is right.
I'll let you rethink that. I think Atlanta and the Chargers are in a very similar tier as far as the NFL. So I like the points, and I like I don't know. I think this is going to be a tough loss, man. When you go up against Baltimore on Monday Night Football, and you don't get embarrassed, but you kind of feel like you didn't have a chance. You know, they're gonna have to come. They're gonna have to overcome that, and I'm taking Atlanta.
Damn. Uh, I'm gonna stick it out, man. But uh, if J.K. Dobbins doesn't play, man, I request an asterisk.
Yeah, I'm not reporting that he will be out. I just I would just be more so surprised because he just wasn't able to make it back out there. And he does have a history, injury history, so I wouldn't be surprised they were gonna
That's
give
the
him.
Monday night game.
No, that is Sunday at 1.
Mm. Yeah. I'm gonna stick with my pick, man. But hopefully he's out there.
All right. Next up, we got Seattle going to Jersey to take on the New York Jets. Jets are at home and they are getting 2.
Uh, I'm going with Seattle, man. The Jets have just been awful. They have not lived up to anyone's standards, and at this point, they should just, it's like they just going through the motions, man. So I got to run with Seattle. Seattle's uh been going out there and been playing pretty well, so I'm gonna go with Seattle.
Yeah, man. It's not even a question. The Jets are a dumpster fire every week. Something else crazy is happening with them. Somebody's getting fired. Some stories coming out. Aaron Rodgers. Now the thing is, should they put Aaron Rodgers on IR? Talks that the owner or the GM, I think it was the owner. I think the owner wanted to bench Aaron Rodgers. It was bad for Rodgers. And said, we're not going to do that. So how much, man? There's just way too much going on. And on the flip side, DK Metcalf came back for Seattle, like you've been saying, and they've been picking up victories since then. So no reason to come off for them. We got Houston going to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Houston is on the road. They are giving 5.
Um, I'm gonna go with Houston. They let me down last week, but with that factored in, with the loss that they took, I think they'll come out fired up. Jacksonville is not a good team. Um, Houston is good enough to beat them, so I'll roll with them.
All right. I'm with you. I'm taking Houston. No update on Trevor Lawrence's status. They are basically saying that he's going to need surgery at some point, but he might still play until the season's over and then get the surgery. So I would
That's
really love.
that's a terrible idea.
I would really
Well,
love to
what
see
are
if
you
he
playing for?
That's a good question. It's a good question because, um, you know, that's a great question, man. I mean, and if I'm Doug Peterson, I clearly see that I'm not gonna get fired. So, why don't you just do right by the kid and shut him down? But I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. What are they playing for? Um, I'm excited for this game. I think I'm gonna. So far, I'm believing in Kyler Murray. I'm going with him. He had a bad game last week, but Arizona is coming into Minnesota. I'm begging for somebody to knock off Minnesota. Minnesota's at home. They're giving 3.5.
Oh, Minnesota's giving 3.
Yep, 3.5.
Ah man, Arizona's such a hit and miss team, man, and Minnesota's been playing bad. Fuck it, I'm with you, man. I'm gonna take the chance on Kyler. I think he had a bad game, and this week he comes out and plays lights out.
Yeah, I think that Minnesota is a good team, and I think Arizona is a dangerous team. I don't know if they're a good team, but they are a dangerous team in the sense that they could come out and play a lot of teams in the NFL, and I think Minnesota is in the tier that Arizona could come out and grab an upset. So coming off of that loss to Seattle, it's in a dome. Um, and Minnesota loves the blitz. So I think if you challenge Kyler and try to get him off of the spot, that's the only way
Make
he's going to run. And when Kyler is
Yeah.
running, I think that's the most dangerous form of Kyler. So I'm taking Minnesota. I'm taking Arizona. Next up, we got Tennessee going to Washington to take on the Commanders. Washington at home, they're giving 5.5.
Um, Will Levis had a great game last week. I don't think it happens again. Um, he's at his 1 for 1 quarter on the year. Um, Washington had a bad game. On the other hand, I think that they come out and correct their mistakes last week. And yeah, so give me Washington.
Hmm, hmm, hmm. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Washington minus 5.5 at home. Um, Now Washington just looks it just looks stuck in the mud against Dallas.
Yeah, yeah.
I know Brian Robinson Jr. He left the game. Austin Eckler caught a concussion, so the running game was not where they wanted to be. But finally, in the second half, they came alive, brought it back, missed the extra points, all that. And Tennessee has been playing hard. Oh yeah, I'm with you, man. Give me Washington. uh, I would like to take Tennessee 5.5. I would have liked something bigger. Like you gave me like 8.5. Okay, I'm on Tennessee. But there's no reason to play with 5.5, which isn't 5.5 isn't a gimme, but at the same time, it's not enough to make me feel comfortable. And I'm all about me feeling comfortable. All right. Tampa Bay is going to Carolina to take on your Carolina Panthers, who are at home getting 6.
Oh man. So, oh man. So if it was if Tampa Bay had all their weapons, it would be no question. But Tampa Bay has lost all their weapons, and despite of that, they've been playing all right. But the Carolina has been playing pretty good too the last couple of weeks. How many points does Carolina get?
Carolina's getting 6.
Oh yeah, I'll take Carolina with the 6.
Carolina
Chuba
getting 6.
Chuba Hubbard is having an amazing season in spite of his team, and Bryce Young is slightly pulling it together. I think they hold on enough to stay in this game and at least keep it close. If not, pull the upset.
Carolina has been playing good football, and Bryce Young is starting to look like he belongs in the NFL. I like Xavier Legette. Adam Thielen has come back. He made an impact yesterday against Kansas City. Every week, my favorite thing about Carolina is every week they got a different leading receiver, and it's usually somebody I never heard of. To your point, Chuba Hubbard has just been going to work, continues to go to work. But all that being said, I'm gonna take Tampa Bay. Um, they went in into take on the Giants Sunday, and they left no doubt in anybody's mind. They don't have their weapons. They did get Mike Evans back. They still got Kate Otten, and
Oh, they did get Mike Evans back.
they did get Mike Evans back,
Oh, I
and
didn't know that.
and they got my one of my favorite up and coming running backs, a random fantasy football pickup, Bucky Irving, having a very good year. You know, fans, Buccaneer fans are constantly clamoring for more Bucky Irving touches, and so is my fantasy team. So I'm gonna take Tampa Bay.
Oh, I didn't know they got Mike Evans back. I might have to change my pick.
All right, going once, going twice.
Yeah, I'm gonna change that, man. I'm gonna take Tampa Bay.
All right. Next up, we got the LA Rams going to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Uh, Saints, Saints are at home and they are giving 2.5.
They're giving 2.5.
Saints giving 2.5.
Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna jump on that, man. I'm gonna take the Rams. The Saints are iffy, man. They haven't been that good this year. They haven't proven that they're a better team than LA. So I feel like that's a gimme. Um, although LA has been known to go out there and ham it up, but they should win this game easily.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. This is gonna be an ugly game. Um, but not visually. You might be able to sit down and watch this game, and it might be very exciting. But if you are a fan of either of these teams, you might sit there and just be so disappointed every possession because something happened that you don't think should have happened. I'm not mad in my mind, this is almost a pick 'em. But I think the Rams deserve to be favored. You still got Puka Nakua, you still got Cooper Cup. Kyron Williams has been coughing up the ball. The Rams have just kind of looked like we were expecting that when Puka Nakua and Cooper Cup got back, it would like revitalize this team. And it more so seems like they came back and everybody just kind of expected them to do all the work and everybody else just stopped trying. So
Y'all got this.
and on the flip side, this is probably where I'm about to go. I'm about to drive off the road on my analysis. But the New Orleans Saints have fired their coach, and since they fired them, they're 2-0, and they've been playing inspired football. So Derek Carr likes to throw the ball out there. Marquez Valdez Scantling, another a guy who just hangs around the league and catches 60-yard catches like it's his job because it is his job, but he does it. Sometimes he'll drop it, sometimes he won't. Who knows what you're gonna get? And I think the Rams defense is susceptible to big plays, so I'll take the Saints at home.
Not mad at that pick.
All right, my game of the week. I will be, and I got the day off. I will be locked in. Philadelphia Eagles going to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Baltimore is at home and they are giving 3. We'll call it the Who's GM Fucked Up Worst Bowl.
Damn, dog. Mm. That's a tough game, man.
Very tough game.
Philly has been on a roll, man. But it's hard. It's hard pressed for me to pick against Lamar, who, even though Saquon has been having a hell of a season, but so has Derrick Henry. Damn. I'm gonna say Lamar's gonna be the deciding factor, man. Give me Baltimore. I already know who you picking.
Hey man, while he was talking, I was like, wow, I wouldn't have it any other way. Because I will see your Lamar Jackson and I will take Jalen Hurts any and every day of the week. But I do like Derrick Henry more than Saquon Barkley. But Saquon has been having a phenomenal year. But I'm just super excited for this game, and you can't go wrong. This is honestly a pick 'em. San Francisco at Buffalo, which should be a great game, but San Francisco kind of sucks. So San Francisco at Buffalo, Buffalo at home, they are giving 7.
Oh, Buffalo's giving 7.
Buffalo is giving 7.
San Francisco's look terrible, man. Buffalo has looked great. On the other hand, I'm gonna take Buffalo.
Brock Purdy may or may not play. I know that changes your opinion.
It does not.
Man, oh man, like you said, man, Buffalo has been rolling. San Francisco has been not rolling. I think Brock Purdy comes back. Um, and he plays. This would be one of those asterisk games where, like, yeah, if Brock Purdy don't play, then I don't want no parts of San Francisco. But if Brock Purdy does play, give me San Francisco and the 7. San Francisco's record is terrible. It's not terrible, but San Francisco has a bad record. They are at the bottom of their division at 5-6, tied at the bottom. But we talked about. I remember you asked me, do I think would San Francisco be a bad playoff matchup for the Lions? And we said, that's if they can even get to the playoffs. But as bad as they've been playing, they are tied for last in their division, but they are still one game back.
Like you said, it's unsure if Brock Purdy is gonna play. Debo Sanders. I mean, Debo has been. I don't know if he's been hurt all season, but he hasn't been playing up to his standards. Kittle has been a ghost. McCaffrey is back, but I haven't heard his name in any of the games that he's been back in. So yeah, man. I would have to see it from them, man. They had to show me that they're back. They had to show me something from the team that they were last year, and right now they're just not it.
I'm gonna use the asterisk on this game, and I will say that if Brock Purdy doesn't play, then again, give me no parts of San Francisco. But if Brock Purdy's out there, I'll take San Francisco in the 7. That's the Sunday night football game, which I will. This is gonna be a good. I'm so glad I got the week off, man, because it's gonna be some good games this week. And the final game, it's not going to be great football, but it's going to be great TV because Jameis Winston is going to grace everybody's TVs. Oh, I'll be back at work too, so I won't even care. Monday Night Football, Cleveland Browns and Jameis Winston going to the Mile High Stadium to take on the Denver Broncos. The Bo Nix Broncos.
Hey, I still got my ticket, man. Still got my ticket. I'm on the train. I'm riding comfortably, dog. I'm riding comfortably. I'm on the Denver train. Give me Denver. Jameis Winston. The Browns had a good game, man, but the Browns are hit or miss. They win one, they lose one. This is the week they lose one. The Broncos are pretty solid. They've been rolling along. Like you said, man, the Bo Nix bandwagon, man. I'm on it.
I'm with you, man. Yeah, you just never know what you're gonna get out of Cleveland. So, if you want to flip a coin, you might as well just flip a coin if you're thinking about taking Cleveland. However it lands, it's gonna be a pretty good assessment of what you should do. But the Broncos are rolling. They at home. Monday Night Football. I don't see any reason to bet against them.
Yeah, man. So that pretty much sums it up, man. We will get together after the holiday and see what came to fruition. We will see y'all until then. Until then, y'all have a great Thanksgiving, man. Eat as much as you can. Enjoy all the games over the holidays. And with that said, peace. Detroit!